baseball great?
I don't think so.
Just say that again and again. Ain't baseball great? You don't think so?
No.
You really think the cold weather is going to scare people away, huh?
Well, I came to the ballpark in my dad #1 Seattle Mariners T-shirt that I got free a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And got a hot dog and sat in a nice shady spot so I wouldn't get my bald head sunburned.
Yeah.
And I froze.
You froze?
Just yesterday.
You froze?
Yeah. Well, it was cold enough that I was uncomfortable.
It was not. What was it? It was 65 yesterday, wasn't it?
Well, maybe I've been in Seattle too long.
Where'd you move here from 10 years ago?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Wow.
Yeah, that beautiful open-air ballpark down there, Candlestick.
Yeah, it was a wind tunnel.
Well,
that didn't even got a roof.
The Coliseum is a much more predictable place to watch baseball in under the open skies.
Yeah. All right, so your prediction is they're not going to be able to fill the seats.
Oh, I'm sure they won't. My seat will not be filled.
You're not going to go to any games?
Well, I can watch them all on TV. I'm not going to pay $25 to go sit in the cold.
Okay, Andy. Bye-bye.
All right.
Of course, you can't buy a $3.75 hot dog when you're sitting at home watching TV. Let's go to Maura Gallucci. She's got a developing news story.
Dave, we're just off the phone with the FAA, and we understand now that there's been a fatal in the plane crash that we reported at the top of the hour. A small plane crashed in Arlington. It was a small plane. We do not yet know what happened, but there is, according to the FAA, one fatality. 710 KIRO's Ursula Reutin is on her way there. We should be getting more information very soon.
Thank you, Maura. We need to find out if there are more people who are not going to go to the games because they're outdoors. Wouldn't that be a kick in the head? Let's go to Patrick calling from a cell phone. Patrick, good morning. You're on 710 KIRO.
Yeah, hi, Dave.
Hi, Patrick. Fine.
Well, I'm sucked in, and boy, I'm a big guy, so it took some sucking.
Yeah?
Yep. It's a hell of a nice place.
Now, what do you mean you were sucked in? When you walked in, were you prepared to be disappointed, or?
No, I didn't know what to expect. I've been watching them build it and looking forward to having it open and all that. But I was just, when I walked in under the spiraling baseball bats from heaven.
Yes.
I
didn't get that. Is that supposed to be lit up or something? Or is it just
baseball bats from heaven?
Well, I know, but they're just
celestial baseball bats.
But they're not even colorful. They're just glass bats. Isn't there supposed to be neon in them or something?
I don't know.
You sound like an art lover. I thought you'd know.
I think I'm thinking to myself some ways that they can provide additional revenue and make things more profitable. And one that comes to mind is Stadium Whiner and Crudgmudgeon Day, where they can have, like at one gate, they can have all the stadium Crudgmudgeons and Whiners come and rant and rave, and if the rant and rave is sufficiently creative, they get in free.
They get in free.
And they have a special parking zone for all the Pete Green Fury 3s and authentic Mariners pork pie hats for these guys to put on. And that's right, because it's like, what do we?
You just want to ridicule me and my buddies, huh?
But
you just want to get.
Well, no, they say that it's just like the China policy. The best way to overcome your enemies is engage them socially and economically.
That's right.
So get them in the stadium.
Yeah, that's right. For the best negative rant gets you in free.
That's right.
And 3 hot dogs later, they'll be converts. All right, Patrick. Thanks for the suggestion. I appreciate it.
Okay.
It's a very, very constructive. 1027, 710 KIRO. We go to Bill calling from a cell phone. Bill, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Yes, Bill.
Hey, well, I have some concerns. I'm going to go to I didn't go yesterday, but I'm going to the inaugural game, and I've got tickets for several other games after that. But I'm really kind of wondering how much support this stadium is going to get. I mean, I'm originally from Baltimore, and when they opened Camden Yards there, you couldn't find a ticket, anywhere.
Right.
I mean, here they're advertising good seats still available, for the first 2 weeks, I mean...
Yeah, although I think those
really
are...
said something.
Yeah, well, we went down there. We tried to buy seats. We wanted to buy seats for, I think it was the 18th, one of the earlier games, and the seats they had available were single seats. So if you're going there as a family, you're going to...
You're going to listen to music?
Do you hear that, too? I don't know what's going on. Did I just say the secret sound, the secret word or something?
I guess so.
When we went down to buy seats, the only seats they had were individual seats. So if we wanted to go as a family, we had to sit in 4 different sections. So we didn't buy them for that day. They're going to have trouble unloading seats like that. But you're right. When the game for the 20th had 4 seats together, and I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, but see, that's for the 20th, and the stadium opens what day? The 15th.
The 15th, right.
5 days later, you're still able to buy 4 seats.
That's true.
Together, and that just kind of says something to me about just how much support this thing is getting. I mean, you would think that from now until the end of the season that you were going to have a hard time finding a seat.
Well, if they, it could be because the team's been playing so badly, except for the last 2 games.
Well, then if you were going to say that, then you'd say that this is not a baseball town, because a baseball town will normally follow their team even when they're not doing too well.
Yeah, well, we can get... I don't know how you define a baseball town. I remember going around and around about that 4 years ago. What's a baseball town and what isn't? The theory behind the stadium, though, is that you will go no matter what's happening.
I will go,
on the field,
and if it's cold, I will pretend like I'm at a football game, and I'll bundle up and dress appropriately, But I don't think that they're getting quite the support that you would expect when you build a new stadium like this.
All right, Bill, thanks for the call. I appreciate that. That would be an interesting question. I know that their season ticket sales are obviously higher than they've ever been, but it's true, there are still, you can get seats to these inaugural games, and I wonder if the reason people aren't buying them is because they're sore at the team. I'll ask. Anybody not buying tickets because they're sore at the team? Or have you already made other plans? Of course, that could be it, too. People made other plans. The stadium didn't open at the beginning of the season, as stadiums normally do. People already made their plans. Who knows? 10:29, 710 KIRO, time for the traffic.
710 KIRO, real-time traffic.
And here's Sarah Johnson.
Troopers are working to clear an accident northbound 5 just north of Albro. It's still blocking the HOV line. Traffic gridlock from the Boeing Access Road all the way north of the scene. That's a solid 2-mile backup on northbound 5 along Boeing Field. Looks like some slowing is still with us on northbound 405 off and on from the S-curves to Newcastle. That backup has actually gotten worse as commuters look for alternates to northbound I-5. They're now going up the east side of Lake Washington. I see an unusual slowdown that's just developed on northbound I-5 approaching the Ship Canal Bridge. I'll keep an eye on that one for you. Westbound 520 west of 51st in Redmond. A mattress in your lane of travel there. Northbound I-5 approaching Mercer. Oh, this is our backup here. Northbound 5 near Mercer. It's a refrigerator in the left lane. I think that's why we're seeing a backup there. And a reminder for commuters in Snohomish County, Cemetery Road just north of Arlington Airport is closed due to a plane crash. Sarah Johnson, 710 KIRO real-time traffic. Here's a check on your forecast now with Andy Wappler in the KIRO Weather Center.
Sunshine again today and nice and warm, 75. High clouds, though, by this afternoon, and that means a cloudy day on Wednesday. Mostly cloudy and cooler tomorrow with the highs around 67 and a chance of showers. For Thursday, back to the sunshine after morning clouds and a high of 73. And for Friday and Saturday, warming up to near 80 for much of the area. I'm Andy Wappler for News Radio 710 KIRO, where you get traffic and weather together on the 10s.
You just spent an hour in Seattle traffic. You didn't know that there was a better way to go. Listen to 710 KIRO's real-time traffic report. Real-time traffic. We'll tell you which route to take and how much time it will take to get you there. Real-time traffic. 710 KIRO's Joel Block. Every 10 minutes, weekday mornings and afternoons. Exclusively on News Radio 710 KIRO. The news and traffic station. News and traffic station.
What's on your list today? You'll find it at Brad Meyer.
Well, here it is, July already. Done that painting around the house thing yet? How about the deck? And hey, look around the yard. Need some help? Well, Freddy's is having a home project sale right now. You get lots done, spend less money, and have more time for things you want to do, like working the barbecue. Oh yeah, I'm king of the coals around here. And Freddy's has the great food to make my barbecue the main event. And if you need a new patio set to eat that great food on, well, this is your lucky week. Pick up an in-store coupon and save 25% on selected patio sets. And say, have you been taking lots of pictures lately? Well, if you bring that film in for processing this week, you'll get a second set of prints free. Look for details at Home Electronics. So what's on your list today? You'll find it at Fred Meyer.
Are you looking for a great new job? Local Fred Meyer stores have openings right now. Stop by the customer service desk and see how you can become a part of the fast-paced, exciting work environment of Fred Meyer.
2 cell phones for what you'd expect to pay for 1.
That's Car Toys president Dan Bredler.
Right now, for 2 cents, you can get 2 better than free Motorola flip phones with $200 of free accessories and a $200 airtime credit.
That's a total of $400 of freebies.
But the best part is that those 2 phones share 1 AirTouch cellular monthly bill and 100 shared minutes for just $29.95 a month.
That's less than $15 a month per phone. Once again, if you're looking for the best deals on wireless phones, you've got to go to Car Toys.
That's because Car Toys is an authorized retailer for AirTouch Cellular and US West and Sprint PCS and Nextel and VoiceStream. Now here's the part our lawyers wrote.
See contract terms and conditions. Annual agreement required. On approved credit, some restrictions apply.
Come to Car Toys to find out more about the family plan.
2 people, 2 phones, sharing 1 calling plan.
Better way to go.
Save money with Car Toys Family Plan Package. It's their biggest car stereo and wireless event of the year. 23 Car Toy stores, including Tacoma, on Tacoma Mall Boulevard, south of the mall. Call 1-888-CAR-TOYS.
Ever wonder where the term grand opening comes from? Well, at the newest Gateway Country store, it's probably because someone will win more than $1,000. In fact, you could win a $1,500 credit toward the purchase of a Gateway PC. Amazing! Not only is Gateway Country the place to test drive performance PCs featuring Intel Pentium 3 processors, not only is it staffed with people who know computers, it's also the only place to win a $1,500 credit towards a new computer, like a Gateway Performance PC featuring the Intel Pentium 3 processor. Now that we've settled this grand opening thing, come in and test drive a computer at the new Gateway Country. Gateway Country. Connect with us.
Come into the new Gateway Country in Linwood, 3225 Alderwood Mall Boulevard, Suite A, or visit any of the other Seattle-Tacoma area locations. You'll test drive the PC of your dreams, and you could even win a $1,500 credit towards a new PC.
Come into any Gateway Country store in the Seattle-Tacoma area July 10th or 11th to register for the giveaway. Odds of winning are based on the number of valid entries received. No purchase necessary to win. You must be 18 or older to participate. The winner will be determined by random drawing July 15th. Other terms and conditions apply. See stores for official rules.
Coming up next hour, Reverend Robert Jeffrey of the New Hope Baptist Church is going to update us on one of my favorite causes, Campaign 5000. There's going to be a big walk. He's working on community development right here at home. Same thing that President Clinton's been campaigning for. And also Randy Bloss of the Peninsula Neighborhood Association will join us to talk about their lawsuit and their attempt to stop the new Narrows Bridge from being built with those toll booths across it. But for now, we're taking calls from people who were not completely blown away by Safeco Field, people who have the nerve to be gratuitously negative on this sunny day. Let's go to Rich calling on a cell phone. Hello, Rich. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Ross.
What's up?
Well, we know the roof is out there.
Yes.
It moves.
It moves.
These folks are complaining about the weather for the new ballpark. Let them go to opening day at Wrigley Field. Then let them complain.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
Wrigley is always sold out in April.
Is it really?
Early part of May.
Well, of course, it's Chicago. It's a huge market.
Yes.
Little field, huge market.
We have America's team.
Ergo, sellout. Yeah. Well, now is Wrigley Field still there? I thought they were going to build a new one.
They tear down Wrigley, and I guarantee you that part of Chicago will secede from the city. Now, Wrigley, the only thing they've done to Wrigley in the last...
They put lights up, right?
That's it. That's the only thing that they've done, and we were a little upset when they did that. And not that they put lights up, but why?
Now, so how do you read the psychology of the Seattle sports fan? Do you think that they have been spoiled by the Kingdome without knowing it, and that they asked for an outdoor stadium without knowing it, and that they will therefore boycott the team in April because they won't be able to stand the cold, wet atmosphere?
I don't think so. The grass is going to be green. We do have some sunny days in April. Not many, but we have a few. And even with the roof closed, you still get, you can still smell the grass.
Yeah. I think the one thing
hot dogs aren't as good. But
well, when you're hungry and you're at a ball game, frankly, I don't think people even care what's in the hot dog. But here, people have been thirsty for so long for outdoor baseball. I think they'll flock to it. I mean, I remember when I was living in Atlanta, actually every town I've lived in, baseball was always outdoors, and so yet another outdoor baseball stadium would not be the same kind of novelty that Taxpayer Stadium is here. So I would think it'd be a natural draw, and I can't explain why you still have 1 or 2 seats left. That apparently concerns some people, but I think it may have to do with opening it mid-season more than anything.
Well, I think that's part of it, and I think you have a lot of people that are still skeptical. Oh, well, it's not going to be as good, the weather, this, that. I think once they have gone, they have seen a couple of games, I don't think they'll have any problem.
Thanks, Rich. I appreciate the call. 1038, 710 KIRO. Let's go to Neil, also calling from a cell phone. Neil, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, this is Dave?
Yes.
Yes. I went to the open house there yesterday, and the stadium is beautiful. I have to give them that. But the thing that I can see that could happen is there could be a lawsuit because of there was the railing on the upper level seats.
The railings on the upper level seats,
are all too low.
Well, they had to do that so you could see the field.
Well, yeah, but you see, it's below the waistline. It's even below the waistline for a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And I could just see somebody trying to get a ball or just stand up, and they're going to fall over. I mean, you can have them higher and have a see-through type of thing there where you can see it, but I think they should be at least about 18 inches higher.
Well, I don't think they wanted to do that because it takes the enjoyment of a baseball game. You're looking through glass. I mean, even that net behind home plate takes you out of the action, I think. But all right, I'll take your criticism under advisement. The first time some kid tumbles out of the 300 section, we can say that you warned us. But I'm sure that they had to do this to code. There are, let's see, I'm trying to think now. Yeah, as far as I know, all the stairways that I had those railings up the middle, which is part of the new safety code. You can be sure that since this was done by a public facilities district, they dotted every I, crossed every T when it came to safety. So I have a feeling that's all within the regulations, and the answer is just keep a hold of your kid. 1040, 710 KIRO.
There are a lot of stations in town. Some of 710 KIRO's competition have spent a great deal of time getting pregame shows, postgame shows, and sports updates. But their time would have been better spent getting a crystal ball. Because of all the stations here in Seattle, there's only one that will broadcast to you live from inside Safeco Field. Only one that will report live from the dugout, the stand, and a booth directly behind home plate. The only station that will put you on the field for every play is News Radio 710 KIRO, home of the Mariners.
You want comfort and you need it fast. Honey, call the Ream Team. Yes, you better call.
Air Conditioning Service Pros. Professional work at fair prices. We arrive on time, in uniform with photo ID. And we clean up before leaving.
Heating or cooling, night or day. We will impress you, honey, right away. The comfort's coming when you make that call to the Ream Team.
Call the Ream Team when you want the best in service. Our courteous professional service people are customer care trained. Your comfort and complete satisfaction are always our top priority. We will impress you. In Olympia, call G&G Heating at 360-943-0964. That's G&G Heating at 360-943-0964. Call the Ream Team.
We will impress you when you make that call to the Ream Team.
If you've been waiting to buy a new home PC, now's the time you've been waiting for. ValueAmerica.com has an unbelievable price on the much sought-after IBM Aptiva multimedia PC. It comes with a 475 megahertz processor, 64 megs of RAM, a 13-gig hard drive, CD-ROM, zip drive, modem, stereo speakers, Windows 98, a 17-inch color monitor, and a Canon BubbleJet color printer. This is not some lightweight home PC. It's an IBM. At only $11.99 after rebates, there's never been a better time to buy a new IBM PC from Value America. Yes, only $11.99, including a 17-inch color monitor and a Canon color printer. It's from ValueAmerica.com. Go online or call toll-free 888-995-VALUE.
Excuse me, Mr. Randolph. I'm Chris Lane from Nextel.
Oh, right. Can you hang on a sec? I'm expecting a very important call from my boss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aren't you going to answer it?
Not a chance. My boss and I have been playing phone tag for years.
But you said it was important.
It was. That call put me in the lead. Most of the company communicates by voicemail anyway.
Well, that sounds inefficient.
Hey, this is business.
Well, this is how business gets done. Nextel. With Nextel Direct Connect, the digital two-way radio feature on our Motorola phones that allows coworkers to instantly contact each other at the touch of a button.
No more phone tag?
No more wasted time. Think how much more business you'll be able to get done.
All right, I'll take it up at the next company meeting.
When's that?
Nobody knows.
Call now to find out how you can get phones with Nextel Direct Connect starting as low as $49. Certain restrictions apply. Offer valid for a limited time only. Phones by Motorola. Call 1-800-NEXTEL-9.
710 KIRO, this is the Dave Ross Show. 877-710 KIRO is open for you. Here is John calling from Seattle. John, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, hi, Dave.
Hi.
I think you have a really good show, and I listen to it whenever I can.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to say that I went to that Safeco Field opening, and the fan that was talking about it being cold,
yeah,
I was up on the 300 level, and it was pretty windy there, even though it was like 80 degrees, and I know when you were in the sun it warmed up, but when it was in the shade, it got pretty windy, and I thought pretty chilly, actually.
Well, it was windy, but, walking through the concourses, it was windy, but I don't remember being chilly. I don't, let's see, I don't even had a jacket. I was so happy to get out of the hot car after going around and around trying to find free parking for half an hour that I found the breeze actually quite refreshing. Now, how do you think that's going to play in the Seattle market? Do you think it'll be too chilly for Seattle?
Well, I think it's going to depend on how good the team plays overall as far as that goes, but, in April, it gets pretty damp. They always talk about in the summer here how it doesn't rain, but when it rains here in the summer, it takes about 5 days to rain what it takes about 3 hours back in the Midwest.
Yeah, tell me about it.
When it gets damp and cold. But, the thing I've always been concerned about with that stadium is from day one, they've always talked about the views, downtown, Mount Rainier and the Olympics, and they've always been talking about how great that is. And it's almost like the owners have been trying to shift the attention away from the product on the field, by saying how
that shouldn't surprise you, though. If the purpose was simply the product on the field, look at how the team drew in I think it was 96 and 97 after everybody fell in love with baseball in 95 in that crummy Kingdome.
Right.
They drew at record levels.
Right.
During those playoff games, the Kingdome was packed. Nobody cared about the facilities; they cared about the team. But you cannot always guarantee a pennant run like that.
Right.
And so you have to build a stadium that people will come to regardless of what's happening on the field. So that's intentional. I'd tell you those seats, the last row of the 300 level, right there against the window.
Yeah.
Man, that's great.
Yeah.
I'd sit there and eat a hot dog for 2 hours just looking out at the sunset.
Well, I go to baseball games to pretty much watch the baseball game, and when I see that, when they keep talking about the views, and I thought, God, I hope they're working on building a good stadium instead of the views.
Yeah. Well, you see, but then you'd go anyway. If you like the baseball, they've got you. They've got to draw in the casual, the person who wants a good time with the family.
Yeah. We won't be there though if they start losing.
Well, what? But see, why not? Yes, think about it. Yesterday, they were doing the hat trick, right? They had the first hat trick. They had Safeco hard hats there, and people were into it. You had maybe about 10,000 people sitting in the stands watching a video of the hat trick, buying hot dogs, going to the bathroom, sitting in the sunshine, having a great old time. No team anywhere near the field.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
I mean, that's the idea. It's those 10,000 people you want to get there. The other 20,000 baseball fans will fill it. Then you got 10,000 for walk-ups. The thing should be filled up every single game.
Yeah. Well, I kind of think in general, though, when you think of a baseball, the fans are trying to draw nowadays. I mean, I go because I like the baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, for me, actually, I think the product on the field is not. I'm talking about the major leagues in general. I mean, it almost makes the NBA look good. And I've followed the Mariners since.
Well, the thing about baseball is that for the regular season, you have to really be into it to like it, I think, anyway.
Yeah.
Baseball doesn't really excite me, well, unless you have a game like the Slugfest the other day was 13-12. I love to see them hit. That, to me, is the most exciting game. Pitchers, duels, no-hitters, tedious. I just, if I knew that was going to happen, I wouldn't buy a ticket that day. Pennant runs, though, when there seems to be something at stake, and the crowd's really into it, and Niehaus is yelling at every play, and people are standing up on every third strike, then that's exciting, and anybody will come to those games. The key is to get that thing filled early in the season when the games are dull and don't really mean much, and that's what the Bite of Seattle atmosphere is designed to do.
Yeah. Well, I hope they can, but I think it is going to be pretty cold there in April through the first part of July.
Break out the winter coats. Thank you, John. I appreciate the call. We go to Jonah in North Seattle. Jonah, good morning. You're on 710 KIRO.
Morning, Dave.
Hi.
So we went yesterday, and
yeah,
the stadium was beautiful. I had been kind of critical because I wasn't sure what it was going to look like from the outside. But
and are you ashamed of yourself now?
Well, no, but I mean, I still don't know if it's worth being the most expensive sports venue in the U.S. But
well, I mean, look, you will never be able to justify that amount of money, in my mind, anyway. But beyond that.
But it seemed like when we were walking through the main concourse, almost every one of the big concrete squares, you pour them in squares so they don't crack, had big cracks running through the top of them.
Well, I noticed that too, but that's concrete. I mean, concrete cracks.
Well, it just seemed to me like kind of a shoddy job, that, I mean, they had to polish it all up and sealed it.
Yeah.
So it didn't look too bad, but I didn't think they were really trying to go for the full marble look through the stadium.
Marble?
And the food was so expensive. Are we going to be able to bring our own food like we could to the Kingdom?
Yes, I'm told you can bring your own food into the stadium. So the Chief Cracker Jack will be out there.
Well, that was my complaint was about the concrete. But I had one more quick question. We had a walk.
No, I just want to make sure I got this right. Is it the safety of the concrete you're worried about?
Oh,
or you just don't like it really offends your aesthetic sense that there were cracks on the concrete.
I was just surprised, I mean, for the amount of money that the stadium's costing, that they didn't get it right.
Should have been
didn't they spend several $1 million? Wasn't this part of the cost overrun?
Oh, yeah,
concrete?
that was the biggest part of the cost overrun, was the concrete.
And
pouring it.
And there's cracks in it.
But that's just the floor. It's just the flooring. There's no structural value to that part of it.
Well, no, but I mean, wasn't this whole thing about aesthetics?
Yes. Okay, what's the other part?
We had to walk past the Kingdom, and we looked up and we saw some of the public art that still remains in there. What are they going to do with that when they tear down the Kingdom?
Oh, they'll take it out, I assume. Which public art in the Kingdom are you talking about?
Well, like they have those big, giant square tiles of floral tiles and stuff.
Uh-huh.
My wife said they should auction them because we have some exposed retaining wall, and it would look really good.
Would you like that?
Fixed to our house.
Want some old ceiling tiles, too? I think, in fact, that's what's happening. I think they're going to have a Kingdom everything must go sale. So you'll be able to get anything from the Kingdom you want. Well, the old theater organ, old microphones,
if they just bid it all up, then Paul Allen would get everything.
Huh? What?
If it's just auctioned off for the highest bidder, then Paul Allen will get everything.
He doesn't want that stuff. He's going to buy all new stuff. No, Paul's going to start that thing from scratch. There won't be any hint of old stuff in Paul's stadium.
Okay.
Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. 1050 710 KIRO.
Imagine a meticulously groomed golf course with mature tree-lined fairways and picturesque water. The fresh scent of the new sun drying the morning dew. You step up on the first tee box and straight away, Mount Rainier. So close you could drive the summit. It's the Classic Golf Club in Spanaway. Consistently rated in the top 10. The Classic. Superior greens, challenging fairways, and spectacular views. This week, play for as little as $25 per person, including half a cart. Your tee time is waiting. 800-440-3540. The Classic. 800-440-3540.
Say, when it gets hot outdoors, you know it can be like indoors. It can be sticky, it can be stuffy, it can be sweaty, but here's how you beat the summer heat. You do it with a Convair evaporative cooler. It'll make every room comfy and cool, gently blowing fresh, cool air and drawing heat and dirt right out. Hey, it'll be like April at Safeco Field. Convair costs as little as a light bulb to run, and it's portable. Get a Convair cooler while supplies last at Rich's Wood Stove and Spas in Linwood, Tukwila, and Bellevue. Seattle Fireplace Shop serving you for 54 years, and Sutter Home and Hearth in Ballard and Woodinville. The very portable, very cool, very affordable Convair evaporative cooler.
My life is pretty busy. With a full-time job and a family, I thought I'd never find the time to finish my college degree.
Eric Blair, Master of Business Administration.
Then I heard about the University of Phoenix. They're recognized nationally as a leader in adult education, and everything from class schedules to their online library is designed to fit a working adult's busy life.
Sarah Duffy, Bachelor of Science in Business Management.
I attended class just one night a week, started a new class every 5 or 6 weeks, and I'm hearing this song a lot sooner than I ever thought I would.
Lisa Hunter, Bachelor of Science in Business Information Systems.
Oh, that's me.
The University of Phoenix can help you balance a job, a life, and an education. The University of Phoenix, the university for working adults.
The University of Phoenix Washington campus has 3 convenient locations and now also offers Bachelor of Science in Human Services. Call now to find out how soon you can begin classes. 425-373-5100. 425-373-5100.
Hello again, everybody. This is the Hate Carpet Girls, Annie, Emily, and Lynn. Hey, it's graduation time, and for many of you, that means your kids will be leaving home soon.
And while we know you'll miss them, your carpet definitely will not.
Yeah, if your kids are anything like my sisters, they've probably made a big mess.
Wait a minute. You're the one who spilled the orange pop on the white carpet.
Well, Emily, that was you, I believe, who drew the hopscotch on the rug with Mom's lipstick.
And what about Lynn and the fingernail polish? Well, it's not just us kids. How about when our dogs... I think we get the point, Lynn.
That's right, Emily. All we are really trying to say is why not celebrate
when they graduate with new carpet from
Hate Carpet. We give you more quality and service at our stores. Yell out Hate Carpet.
Hate Carpet with 3 stores in Woodinville, Kenmore, and in Monroe. 20th Century Insurance delivers great rates for safe drivers. Call 1-800-211-SAVE. That's 1-800-211-SAVE.
710 KIRO. This is the Dave Ross Show. Here's Ben. Ben, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, Dave. Love your show.
Thank you.
I was just wondering how long people in Seattle are going to be complacent with this new stadium. You weren't around back in 1969 to watch the Pilots play outdoor, but
no.
I was down in a restaurant about 3 years ago reading some artifacts on the wall about the Seattle Pilots, and there was a newspaper from, it was in Des Moines, Iowa, and anyway, they were quoting Slade Gordon on how we needed to build a dome stadium for our baseball team to keep them in Seattle.
Well, and we did.
And we did.
And we got them.
So now you've got to wonder what's the next state-of-the-art stadium going to be like that we are
Well,
going to be threatening to leave?
I'm glad you asked. The next state-of-the-art stadium is going to be, in 20 years from now, they will have developed a force field that will keep the rain out without a roof.
There you go.
And that will cost $5 billion. And you will pay for it because it'll be glorious. Thanks, Ben, for the call.
You bet.
Let's go to Gary. Gary, good morning. You're on 710 KIRO.
Good morning, Dave.
Hi.
You've got some people calling in about the cold at the ballpark. I just came from the British Columbia Mountains where it was 10 below and blizzard.
No kidding. Were they playing ball up there?
No, not exactly. Just dodging grizzly or two. No, news people don't usually call talk shows, but I have to tell you, you've got a great audience in Puerto Rico. We enjoy your daytime nuggets when you fill in for Charlie, and we just think you're a very funny guy.
Well, thank you very much. You're the news director down there
Yes, I am, right.
WOSO in Puerto Rico?
That's it.
Is that an English language station?
English language station, the only one.
Oh, because I was wondering. I didn't know that the pieces were carried in Puerto Rico because my Spanish is very, very rusty.
Yeah, no, we have the only one.
Well, thank you, Gary.
Big
Appreciate
hit,
the
and I
call.
thought your Seattle audience needs to know that you're extra local. You've got a good audience throughout the state.
Well, I appreciate that. I've never visited Puerto Rico, but now I know who to call on when I go down there.
Right.
Thank you, Gary.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
1056, 710 KIRO, and we will be back.
What to do with that car? Donate it to Washington Council of the Blind. Vehicle donation is completely trouble-free. You get a great tax write-off and do your part for a truly worthy cause. The Washington Council of the Blind has helped the blind in the workplace since the 30s. Simply call. We'll pick up that car, running or not, plus boats, even real estate may be donated for tax deduction. Call for free pickup. 800-576-2956. 800-576-2956. That's 576-2956.
They're back again for this summer's main event, the 1999 Fred Couples Wells Fargo Invitational. Some of the tour's biggest names join Seattle's own Fred Couples at the Golf Club at Newcastle, July 26th and 27th. And now, in time for Father's Day, the perfect gift for Dad. Buy 2 or more adult tickets at any Nordstrom store in Washington and receive the new golf CD from Billy Mack free. Tickets also available at all Wells Fargo branches in Washington and at FredCouplesInvitation.com.
Before you invest in new windows for your home, it's a good idea to get a quote.
From the moment those windows went in, we noticed a difference. Quiet, less draft. The home is much brighter. I love them.
That's Erin Shook of Federal Way, talking about her beautiful new windows from Washington Energy Services.
The work crew was wonderful. They put the windows in, as far as I was concerned, it went in like butter. And not only were they a personable crew and made it a lot of fun, but they answered any and all questions that we had. We only wish we had done it sooner.
Right now, Washington Energy Services can install energy-efficient windows in your home for as little as $49 a month. For details, call 1-800-398-HOME. That's 1-800-398-HOME. Or visit WashingtonEnergy.com on the web, because our windows not only come with a solid warranty and a great price, they also come with references. Right, Erin?
Hands down, without a doubt, call Washington Energy Services.
Washington Energy Services. We'll make you feel at home.
Hi, I'm Tony. As a newlywed myself and a Shane Company sales associate, I know how difficult it can be finding that perfect engagement ring. There are many things to take into consideration. What style should I get? What shape of diamond? Should I get an engagement ring or a wedding set? These are all important questions. At the Shane Company, each of us understands how important finding that right bridal set is. I am dedicated to helping you find that perfect style. We have hundreds of styles to choose from, and by showing our diamonds loose, it allows you to personalize your ring while keeping the price at a range that is comfortable for you. It is important to remember that we don't work on commission, so there are no high-pressured sales. My only goal is to help you find a wedding set that is perfect for her.
Now you have a friend in the diamond business, the Shane Company. From I-5 or I-405, take the Alderwood Mall Boulevard exit. They're located in their own building between the Bon and I-5. Open weeknights till 8, Saturday and Sunday till 5.
This is the Dave Ross Show, 710 KIRO. If you've been following the news, you know that Bill Clinton is on his economic development tour. Shades of the Great Society, really. He's been visiting depressed areas and trying to encourage economic development, and it's about time. The problem, of course, with getting companies who are planning to move offshore to locate in depressed areas is that they don't want to pay minimum wage. They want to pay below minimum wage. We're going to talk about economic development with Pastor Robert Jeffrey of Seattle's New Hope Baptist Church after CBS News. Stand by.
Working around the clock to keep you out of those traffic jams. You can depend on News Radio 710 KIRO Seattle, covering traffic 24 hours a day. The news and traffic radio station.
CBS News, I'm Bill Whitney. Something very strange had happened at SeaWorld in Orlando. When trainers arrived this morning, they found the nude body of a man in one of the killer whale pools behind Shamu Stadium. Authorities believe the man hid in the park after closing time last night and attempted to swim with an 11,000-pound breeding male. SeaWorld General Manager Vic Abbey says he picked the wrong pool.
This particular animal is not an animal that our own trainers interact with. He's our big breeding male. Our own trainers, who are highly skilled, don't interact in the water with this animal.
The cause of the man's death hasn't been determined. There was no outward sign of injury on his body. Power companies in the East are pleading with customers to go easy on consumption. Record heat combined with the failure of a generator has forced rolling blackouts already on the Delmarva Peninsula, and people on Cape Cod have been warned they might lose power for 2-hour periods this afternoon. New York City has just broken the record for this date. It's up to 99 degrees. But despite the heat, CBS News reporter Peter King found Californian Leora Burchtel running in Central Park.
We're training for the cross-country season, and back home, it starts next week.
So even though it's going into the triple digits today, you still got to get that road work in?
Yeah.
What would you say to those who think you're crazy for doing it?
That's fine. Stay in the sitting room. I'll join them soon.
Hilda Floyd is feeling pretty smug. She's the mayor of Stanley, Idaho, where the temperature dropped to 23 degrees yesterday.
We have no air conditioning in Stanley because it cools down so much in the evening when the sun goes down that we don't need air conditioning.
Floyd says they have 2 seasons, winter and August. Today's forecast high in Stanley is 76 degrees. Federal investigators say they now know where Benjamin Smith got the guns used in his 2-state shooting spree. The ATF's Jerry Singer says Smith bought the guns from a unlicensed gun dealer in the Peoria area 2 days after Smith was turned away from a licensed gun shop. The depressed town of Clarksdale, Mississippi gets a visit from President Clinton today. He spoke at a business roundtable about bringing investment into communities that need an economic lift.
I think that it's a good thing that we encourage people to invest in Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean, but they ought to have the same incentives to invest in the Mississippi Delta and Appalachia, in the Native American reservations in the inner cities.
Mr. Clinton's proposed new market initiatives would offer government incentives if approved by Congress. Today, he's announcing $15 million in community development grants for the Mississippi Delta. The presidential field might be getting more crowded. The New York Times says advisors to Minnesota's Reform Party Governor Jesse Ventura are urging Lowell Weicker to run as the Reform Party candidate for the White House. Weicker was a Republican senator who was elected governor of Connecticut as a third-party candidate. He says the chance for a national dialogue on important issues is hugely appealing. On Wall Street right now, the Dow's up 53. This is CBS News.
William Shatner here for Priceline.com. You know, people love to name their own price. That's why Priceline is so popular. 250,000 people have already gotten airline tickets. Over 2,000 more people get tickets every single day. When you use Priceline to name the price you want for airline tickets, here's what happens. $350 to L.A.? Yes. $275 to New York? Yes. $49 to Tokyo? No. $240 to Orlando? Okay, yes. We'd love saying yes. Last week, 20,000 people got a yes to their price at Priceline. It's time to tell someone you know about Priceline. Someone who doesn't want to pay full price, who likes to save money, who keeps telling you they can't afford a plane ticket or hotel room. You know who. Tell them to name the price they want for airline tickets, hotel rooms, mortgage refinancing, and more, only at Priceline on the Internet. Naming your own price at Priceline.com is big, really big.
710 KIRO News.
11:04, I'm Maura Gallucci with an update on News Radio 710 KIRO. One person is dead in a single-engine plane crash at Arlington Airfield in Snohomish County. 710 KIRO's Ursula Reuting has this live report.
What happened shortly before 10 o'clock this morning, the small plane had just taken off from Arlington Airport when it may have had some engine problems. This woman works nearby.
We looked down the street and saw a huge cloud of black smoke. We walked down there, and there was the wing of the plane laying in the front yard, and then the plane was laying in the backyard. And obviously the people died on impact. I don't know how many people are in it, but whoever was piloting the airplane is dead, and it was on fire. The house right next to it was on fire.
At this point, we have only heard of one fatality. There apparently was no one inside the house at the time, but in the last minute, a fire and medic truck just went by me, so there could be more injuries. Cemetery Road right now is closed while the crash investigation gets underway. Reporting live in Arlington, Ursula Reuting, News Radio 710 KIRO.
A hiker missing overnight east of Enumclaw has walked out on her own this morning.
She spent the night in the woods, and this morning she came across a logging crew, and they took her down to the Tacoma Headworks and called us. So she's fine.
King County Sheriff spokesman John Urquhart, who says there was an intensive search effort after the 35-year-old Kent woman became separated yesterday from her hiking partner.
710 KIRO, real-time traffic.
Let's get back with Sarah Johnson now, watching the commute.
I think we have a new problem in Bellevue. I'm looking at a camera shot of northbound 405 at Northeast 8th, and traffic just is not moving there. I don't know what the problem is yet. It could be an accident or a stall, but again, northbound 405 through Bellevue, right around Northeast 8th, traffic has slowed to a crawl, and northbound I-5 coming into Seattle is still very slow from Albro to the Convention Center following an earlier accident. A reminder that Cemetery Road north of Arlington Airport is closed in Snohomish County. That road runs east and westbound. It's closed because of that plane crash that you were hearing about earlier on KIRO. I'm Sarah Johnson, 710 KIRO real-time traffic.
Sunshine and 75 this afternoon, but high clouds by late in the day. Tomorrow those clouds thicken and the temperature drops to 67 with showers. By Thursday, though, sunny afternoons and 73. I'm Andy Wappler for News Radio 710 KIRO.
It's 68 degrees in the sunshine in Seattle. We update the top stories at the top of each hour. Breaking news right away on News Radio 710 KIRO.
Every weekday morning and afternoon, when you need the latest traffic and weather, you get it every 10 minutes on News Radio 710. 710 KIRO, Seattle.
The big walk comes to Seattle, and the big bridge comes to Tacoma. Stand by.
This is the Dave Ross Show.
From the global headquarters of the East Lake Avenue Crusaders for Common Sense, this is the Dave Ross Show on 710 KIRO, each weekday morning from 9 until noon, spreading drive-by wisdom to the masses. One listener at a time. Welcome to this glorious July day, and you thought summer would never arrive. It is a roof-open day, a top-down day, and I hope you are enjoying it. We've been spending the last couple of hours talking mostly to people who visited Safeco Field and either loved it or kind of didn't love it. There's nobody who actually hated it. The most stinging criticism I've gotten so far is the guy didn't like the cracks in the brand new concrete floor. I figured that a stadium this new shouldn't have any cracks in the concrete. I don't know of any concrete floor that doesn't have cracks in it. But Safeco Field notwithstanding, we're going to move on to bigger and maybe even more important things. President Clinton is going on an economic development tour of this nation's impoverished areas. He was in Appalachia yesterday. He's in Mississippi today. And a lot of people, especially on the liberal side of the spectrum, are saying it's about darn time. Here's a guy who calls himself a Democrat, but what has he done for economic development in America's poorest areas? So he's finally gotten around to it. There are sort of overtones of the Great Society. If you were around in the 60s, you certainly remember President Lyndon Johnson's attempts to bring Appalachia back from the brink of poverty. And it hasn't worked. I mean, that was the beginning of a widespread national welfare system. I guess you could argue it has made poverty